Here between Virtus Pro and Millenium, and it looks like Millenium are going for very defensive positions, but look at Virtus Pro. They're making their way up towards that top lane, looking for a very long-winded invade here, going through the topside tri-brush where Kevin has already sat down.
Kevin is already in that bush, but a good hook from Liquid across the wall here will spell his doom. They're coming round. Kevin's going to spot them out now. There's the ward. The hook is going to come out, and Kevin's going to get caught. He does have flash available. Foster's bomb. He's going to try and flash the wall. Kevin! No! He goes down straight away. Power of dreams. That is the power of teamwork right there from Virtus Pro.
Yeah, the first blood going on to Mundo as well, so that'll give him a little bit of a boost towards picking up some early magic resist against Kevin. And that couldn't have gone better for Virtus Pro. They managed to get a hook onto Kevin. He didn't flash though, so his flash still is available, so he won't be an early target that's easily exploited by a mirror on that Kha'Zix. So a nice bit of early aggression, and it looks like everyone is again moving up towards that top lane.
They do exactly the same thing again. They've got time for it if they still want to go for the invade. They might even be going for the lane swap here as well. With Toxic George and Liquid heading up towards this top lane, you can lock down that Rumble quite heavily in a 2v1 lane because his farming under tower is okay, but Flame Spitter makes it very difficult to accurately farm under tower.
Yeah, it looks like they're potentially... Oh, the wards just dropped off again. They timed that ward to perfection. Looks like they're actually going in for the invade at the late stage of this game. They are going to go for a lane swap. Power of Dreams can teleport down towards that bot lane. The only issue with putting Mundo in a 2v1 lane is you're going to delay his build, and he won't effectively be able to go for a Spirit Visage because he'll be going up against a Lucian who'll be doing a lot of AD damage. He'll need to be potentially getting
actually
some
a
early
gank
armor.
coming in here mid lane by Liquid onto Ryu. They're going to try and lock him down very quickly. He has got distortion available. Gets hooked though. He's going to have to flash away from that. That's some very good rotations here from Virtus Pro.
This is some really abstract game plan from Virtus Pro. It really reminds me of the roaming Alistair we used to see M5 pull out back in the day. This roaming support early on to put pressure down on the lanes. I really like this. It's actually throwing a bit of a spanner in the works from Millenium, but they're going to have to keep it up if they want to keep this pressure going down, because Power of Dreams is really struggling against this bot lane. Mundo is not the best 2v1 laner until he hits 6, and unfortunately Kevin's having he's going to have an okay time. Kevin can farm in the turret with that Flame Spitter moderately well. It's very hard to get the last hits as Rumble anyway, but you can ranged farm with either your Electro Harpoon or Flame Spitter, so there is a bit of leeway for Kevin here, whereas Mundo has only got that Cleaver to farm with, and unfortunately it does cost health to use, and if he doesn't get a hit or he doesn't get the kill on the minion, it's almost a bit of a wasted spell. So at the moment, Virtus Pro with the early aggression holding the lead ever so slightly, and looking good.
Is this going to be a dragon started by Horror? It is. They're going for a level 3 and 2 dragon here. JWee's going to have to try and kite back this dragon pressure. And there's a gank coming in mid lane again. Liquid trying to come around onto View. This is very dangerous. Horror's down to less than 200 HP already, and they do have to just back away from that. That's a bit of wasted jungle time there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Horror did manage to pick up 2 buffs. He did take away the red buff from Mirror's End, but he has got a little bit of time wasted from getting low, so he's had to go back to base. But right now, it's actually Virtus Pro really putting a lot of pressure onto this Millenium side, and we really thought Millenium would run away with this. We didn't know anything about this Virtus Pro team before they came in. The only name I recognised was Power of Dreams, but these guys have had a good early start here. They've really come out swinging in the early stages of this game.
Yeah, they really have, and you look at it compared to the way that Millenium have been playing thus far. Ryu, a little bit behind on CS, you kind of expect it on a LeBlanc, but not really able to lay much pressure down in that mid lane. Liquid's done a great job of coming round for those ganks, meaning that Ryu's had to be a little bit safer without his flash. Like, LeBlanc does have distortion, which is almost a flash on a 6-7 second cooldown, but you have to be a bit more careful with using that aggressively when you don't have your flash to back you up.
Yeah, sorry, I've got a bit of a cold, had to just mute there. JRee again is doing a good job of poking out Power of Dreams, but Power of Dreams is doing a decent job of CSing. He's actually managing to use that cleaver effectively. He will likely be wanting to go for a Spirit Visage early on versus this Rumble and LeBlanc. It is basically the key item choice for Rumble. He has for Mundo versus a double AP composition. It really synergizes well with his ultimate. That flat magic resist and flat health also is really good for him. The only issue that Virtus Pro are going to face here is if they don't rotate their bot lane round quick enough And then Millenium start to look to exploit that dragon early on because they have their bot lane down here. I don't know if Horo wants to go for a dive here, but Mirror's End has made his way so that it would be a very risky dive for Millenium to take. And actually, Power of Dreams had a really nice ward there on the dragon, so there isn't going to be a sneaky dragon coming down. But look at the damage with just a nice combo from Jayri and Creaton there, and Horo again trying to make his presence felt on this bot lane. That's where they're trying to put their pressure down, but Mirror's End again doing a good job. This is really old school. You haven't tended to see this before since the old sort of lane swaps that you tended to see, where both junglers would come down and defend that turret or try and attack that turret. So again, this is a very interesting lane swap, because what you usually tend to see with lane swaps these days is you have your top laner follow you around the jungle, so he gets the free experience. But this is a very sort of old school lane swap style matchup, and Jayri and Creaton just trying to do their best to zone him away. Kevin is having the worst time. He's down, double CS essentially down from the Mundo, and he's having zoned like massively versus this Corki and Thresh. But Thresh has now made his way towards this mid lane. He's level 3. Looks like he wants to go for a gank onto Ryu again.
Yeah, once more coming towards this mid lane for the gank. He does have Mirror End around if he wants to go for the 3-man. Ryu is level 6 though, so has Mimic as well. He's just going to get caught out. Power of Dreams actually getting killed in the bot lane. Missed that totally. Just must have been a nice Aqua Prism into Light Slinger combination.
Yeah, I mean, Jayri again is so good at hitting those bubbles, and we saw it under turret. He hit a bubble and Creaton perfectly hit a Light Slinger. So it's again, basically it was what I assumed would happen, and Mundo's going for a Giant's Belt first, so we're not going to see him going for the early Spirit Visage. And this is what I thought would happen when you put Mundo in a lane swap situation versus a double AP composition. You force him to make the decision between going for early armor and health versus that early Spirit Visage, which makes him so powerful against these double AP compositions. So now he's going to delay that. He's going to be less effective in these mid-game teamfights at dealing with the high amounts of AP coming out from the Millenium side. And actually the lane swap has been returned, and Millenium is setting their top bot lane top. And I think you're going to see a rotation from Virtus Pro, and Corki and Thresh again are countering that lane swap with a lane swap of their own. This actually puts Virtus Pro in a really good position, because now they can look towards making plays in the bot lane and then eventually try and take this dragon, because the Millennium bot lane is top. So they basically have 2/5 less pressure on that dragon.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go for the dragon straight away here. Mundo's still down in the bot lane, yep, just going to go straight for it. Nami and Lucian all the way up in that top lane have no pressure on this. This is going to be a free global objective going across to Virtus Pro. Really nicely done by them to understand the positioning of their enemy and being able to utilize it to their advantage. Creaton is putting a lot of damage onto this top lane tower, and actually...
They're going for a dive onto Kevin.
Wow, they're going to dive onto a Rumble when he's already level 6. Sadum is popped by Power of Dreams. He's going to tank up the tower as much as he can. Nice equalizer across. Death Sense is not quite connecting. They're going to go in. Kevin is going to go down. The tower goes down in the top lane as well. Rio from the side along with Horo. Horo's not level 6 yet. Kevin's gone down. Here comes Rio. Flash away there by Liquid. Not going to get that sigil of Malice popped onto him. They're in a bad position. 3 men behind the tower, but it's only 2 on the side of Millenium, meaning they'll have to back away. They do give up their blue buff for this, with Creaton going to steal that one away, but we do see a blue buff trade going across to Virtus Pro.
Yeah, and actually Horo going very aggressive there is going to try and get away and find solace underneath that turret as Kevin is coming down. What could have happened there is they could have stalled out the backs from Virtus Pro, and Creaton could have potentially have taken or done a lot of damage to that outer turret, or that inner turret rather, in the top lane, but that didn't happen. So again, Creaton is just going to get a bit of free farm in exchange. He's up 20 CS on George, so George on Corki a little bit behind, but he has got 2 assists. But Creaton, in the meantime, definitely winning that AD carry gold race. It's just that global objective that's going to keep George well in contention with him.
Definitely is, and that was a sloppy fight from both teams, really. We saw Millenium reacting a little bit late. Virtus Pro, they got the first kill, but after that they positioned themselves badly behind the tower, and they had to rotate out through the enemy jungle, which is never what you want to be doing. They do manage to pick up the blue buff for themselves, but it hasn't gone across to Tractor on that Orianna, so she might be a little bit low on mana for a while. Can pick up the Chalice with the gold that he's sitting on at the moment though, so shouldn't struggle too much, but you do want that blue buff on your mid laner.
Yeah, picked up the Athenes and Holy Grail, so we'll have a little bit of mana regeneration in her pocket. So won't be too bad for her in terms of mana. And Ryu now going to head back himself, and we'll see what he decides to go towards. Yep, definitely going for that DFG first. We're going to be seeing a very bursty LeBlanc coming out from him with that needlessly large rod and the Fiendish Cone decks already being finished. And right now, Horo's having a hard time making his presence felt. A lot of jungle pressure has come down from Mirror's End. He's been doing a really stellar job on this Kha'Zix. Horo on the other side.
George is going to get taken solo. They're going to counter-engage onto Creoton. Nice play, but the bubble just not connecting there from JV onto George.
Yeah, I mean, look at the difference between Mirror's End and Horo right now. Mirror's End is up 20 CS and he's 1-0-1. He's having a field day in this jungle right now. Horo is definitely struggling to do what he can do on Jarvan. We tend to see him do on Lee Sin. The early pressure, he's struggling to think where to put the pressure down. And unfortunately, Mirror's End is just running away with this in terms of to global pressure. I think we're going to have to try and see Kevin and the guys group up. Millenium want to make use of the next dragon fight. They want to make use of the fact that Rumble will have a lot of damage.
They go into mid lane. Tractor's going to get jumped on. Horo comes from the side. They do land the ethereal change at the end, but that is a flash from Tractor. And as you were saying, it's really going to be about how we see Millenium grouping from now on in.
Yeah, I mean, basically the advantage for Millenium here is that Mundo is going armor and possibly a Randwins first. If they can make use of the next dragon fight, where they've got Ryu and Kevin, they can basically negate the Mundo because he won't have. Oh wow, a great play from Lit.
So much damage in the bot lane. Creoton's being exhausted as well, but the bubble lands on Toxic George. He's been ignited. He might go down just to JV, and the fish has scuppered that plan. Good play, but JV picks up a counter kill.
Yeah, I mean, that was just J-Ree all over, and he did a
Gonna
great
jump onto
bubble
Tractor.
there.
There's the Cataclysm onto him. Rio's gonna jump in. Now he goes in. He's seen the ball go down. The Ignite's there as well, and Horo picks up the kill. And a little bit of mispositioning by the ball meant that Rio could get in. They're gonna go, and J-Ree gets a killing spree in the bot lane. Creoton tower diving, and the ebb and flow heal from that Nami does pick up the kill.
Yeah, we're starting to see Millenium turn it up now. They got caught out in the early game with some crazy tactics. Very, very reminiscent of the level 2 roaming supports you tended to see in the early days of M5. But, oh, teleport coming down here from Mundo. Not
Teleport
sure
is
he's
going
get
down
anything.
into that bot lane. I'm not sure he can actually do much here. JV does have enough mana for that Aqua Prism. Creoton's going to keep running away. They do have a Mirror End. Kha'Zix jumping from the side, but the flash from JV, counter flash from Power of Dreams. Mirror End actually turned away from that one. They're going to dive. JV under tower. Doesn't have enough mana for the Aqua Prism. Will go down. He does just pop that there, and they're going to get the kill. Power of Dreams picked up all by himself. And they do manage to get a counter kill out of it all. 3-4 now in favour of Team Millenium.
So what's going to happen here is the teleport is down from Mundo, so he won't have it available for Dragon, and that's up in 1 minute, and Kevin is putting a lot of pressure in this top lane. Mundo is going to have to react to the pressure that Kevin is putting down, and then Kevin has his teleport, so as this Dragon fight comes up, if Mundo does not relocate towards that Dragon, Millenium have a really, really key position to take advantage and control of this game. They're only a little bit goal behind, it's basically negligible at this point. If they can group up, have Kevin down there for this Dragon fight in 45 seconds. He's going to go top and try and put some pressure on because he knows that teleport is not available for Power of Dreams. This is somewhere where Millenium can take the game by the scruff of the neck and basically try and win it from here on out. Looks like Ryu is trying to do the damage onto Liquid. That was
Look at the damage. There's not even a Deathfire Grasp used there.
Massive damage by Ryu, and you're starting to see the guys really turn up the fact that they're just so mechanically skilled on their champions and as players, and look at the damage coming up from Ryu there. Dragon is up in 20 seconds and Thresh and Kha'Zix have backed. Now this is something that Millenium are going to have to try and take advantage of. Thresh is a little bit down on levels compared to J-Ree, just that oh no, actually he's not, he's exactly equal on levels, that was my bad. But he has been doing a little bit more in terms of map pressure, but J-Ree is 3-1, so he's got a little bit more under the belt in terms of items. Have to take advantage of the fact that Mundo's in this top lane versus Kevin though. Kevin cannot have his teleport stopped by Power of Dreams, but looks like Power of Dreams is trying to do the best that he can to stop Kevin being at a high HP if he chooses to teleport down.
Another tower going down in favour of Team Millenium. They are 500 gold in the lead. It is negligible, as you said, Joey, not going to get caught out there. They did manage to steal away the blue buff coming out from Virtuous Pro as well, so they have that another advantage. Cataclysm onto Vixen Tractor, and here comes Rio as well. The Mimic, the Shockwave though, is he going to survive? No! Horo picks up another kill for himself in that mid lane. 2-0-0 now. 2 assists onto Rio as well.
Yeah, and actually the Dragon timers haven't been kept to a T here. They aren't looking to rotate and take these Dragons ASAP. Ryu is quite low at this point, and Horror has just used his ultimate. This might not be the ideal time, but it does look like that's what Virtus Pro are trying to do, and I think
Kevin
Millenium
and
will
Power
know
of
this
Dreams are fighting in the top lane. Dragon has been started. They're both going to go very low. Sadism from Power of Dreams will keep himself up though, and they're going to see Millenium rotating across towards this Dragon now. It's already down to about 2000 HP. Here comes the tidal wave. Blue team actually do pick it up. Virtuous Pro pick up one. They're going to jump across the wall, not quite able to connect with that Ethereal Chains. And it does turn out to be in the favour, really, of Team Virtuous Pro.
Yeah, definitely a trade that you'd happily make every day. A singular kill for a Dragon is better for the team in every case, and that was just, unfortunately, Millenium were not in a position, and that was just great play from Power of Dreams in that top lane. He kept Kevin engaged so that Kevin couldn't use his teleport. Kevin needed to back off behind turret potentially if they wanted to make a teleport play there, but again, I think Millenium want to take away something from this and then take away the red buff.
They do lose out both of their buffs off that Dragon. They lost their blue buff before it had started, of course, and then had the fight, lost their jungler, and they lost their red buff as well. So Virtuous Pro giving up those sort of mini-map objectives for the larger objectives that they were able to take. Still a very close game, 1,000 gold in it. I think a lot of it's going to come down to how Power of Dreams starts to play as we get into this mid-game phase.
Yeah, well, he's already picked up a Sunfire cape, so that's quite a decent early game item. Obviously not the best versus the double AP competition, but because he's got a little bit of gold in the bank, he's now heading towards that Spectre's Cowl and that Spirit Visage. So once he gets that Spirit Visage and Sunfire cape, he'll actually be a fairly dominable mid-game threat. You have a lot of damage coming out from Sunfire in the mid-game, and also obviously Mundo does a fair amount of AD damage with that AD steroid that he has in his kit. So it's going to be difficult to deal with once he gets to that position, and I think Millenium need to think about where they want to make their plays, because they need to start utilising Rumble in a teamfight sense, because at the moment, without Rumble, they've got a pick composition. You've got Jarvan, you've got LeBlanc, you've got Nami, and you've got Lucy, and that's very pick-orientated. It takes out one person at a time, and they try to burst someone down. Add Rumble to that, and you've got a teamfight composition, because it synergizes with the Jarvan, and wow, Rio just being incredibly cheeky, getting a bit of damage across the wall and dodging out the hook with his W. He's doing it over and over again, really great, trying to proc that Sigil of Malice with his chains, which is what you tend to do. Hasn't happened too much yet, but he has a blue buff, so he can do it to his heart's content, and he's using that distortion to get wards deep into the jungle safely too, so really great play from Rio there.
Yeah, he's very cheeky, as you said, on that LeBlanc, but it's what you want to do. You can spam out those spells with the blue buff, you've got the cooldown reduction as well. Hook not connecting there. Look at actually trying to predict where it was going to come out, but not able to judge Rio's jumping, his distorting as well as he would like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more difficult in the later stages of the game when you have a little bit more area to maneuver in that mid lane for Ryu. When he was at his turret, you'd always suspect him to distort towards his own turret, but once you're sort of pushed up towards your own turret, there's multiple directions that Ryu can go, so a little bit more difficult to predict that distortion and when he's going to use it at this stage, especially when they're pushing onto that tower. And Millenium actually have the gold advantage despite being 2 dragons down at this point, so they're definitely holding on to this one quite well. And Kevin's picked up that Liandry's, who's actually normally going straight Liandry's on Rumble is a little bit of a mismatch, but when you're going up against a Rumble, Mundo, it's actually a very good item pickup because you want to burn his health, you want to be doing percentage health-based damage versus the champion with a lot of health. It speaks for itself.
It really does.
Look at Rio doing damage to Tractor in that bot lane. Rio starting to dominate at this point. He's got the CS advantage. He's actually winning these trades left, right, and centre. And Tractor's having a very difficult time.
Yeah, had to pop that barrier in the last fight. Deathfire Grass coming out from Rio just does a huge amount of burst damage, and we see at the moment no one really from Virtus Pro can deal with him. It's just, he's very strong. Toxic Jaw's going to take a lot of damage in mid lane again, and we see J-Re coming across, healing up Creoton. He's going to be like, yep, we'll put some more pressure down onto this mid lane tower, while we see Rio pushing in that bot lane.
Yeah, it looks like Kevin is moving down to make some plays happen in this mid lane. That is where everyone is grouping up at the moment, but Rio is split pushing himself, and a split push LeBlanc, you don't say that every day, but no one can 1v1 him at this point. So that's a very good idea for Rio to continue to do this. It looks like Tractor is the one that's trying to... Oh, it's a lot of damage coming down, but Tractor's the one that's trying to put the damage down onto Rio. Oh, there's going to be a engage here on
I feel this is a bit baited here by Rio, because here comes Horo, here comes the shockwave as well. The bubble doesn't connect, but Rio goes back in, and J-Re, the AD carry, Nami, picks up his 4th kill of the game.
Yeah,
Rio manages to survive as well.
Report J-Re for kill stealing. He's 4-1-1 right now. He's a massive support. He's managed to pick up a few key items. He's going straight towards that Mikhail's, so he'll have a lot of help for his AD carry in terms of peel and healing, as well as having basically a free cleanse for him too. So J-Re picking up the kills is not the worst thing in the world for Millenium at this point, because everyone else is getting fed as well. So if it was just J-Re getting fed, it would be a bit of an issue, but you've got a 202 Jarvan, you've got a 004 LeBlanc who's up in CS, and a 103 Lucian who also has a lot of gold behind him with a Brutalizer and an Infinity Edge. So a lot of stuff going for Millenium in their way right now.
Yeah, all credit to Creaton as well there. He managed to hold off a 3-man push in the mid lane while Horror and J-Re went to that bot lane to help out Rio with a kill. So because he was there, because he was able to clear the waves quickly enough, it meant that really Virtus Pro weren't able to get anything out of that and actually would lose their own mid lane tower in exchange for backing away.
Oh wow, Creaton going aggressive, Mirazen forcing to jump away. Looks like Dragon is where everyone is pinging. Kevin has got his teleport up. Millenium will want to start to stamp down on this Dragon this time round. They lost it out last time, they don't want to lose a third one. Dragon becomes more valuable as the game goes on towards the mid game because you get more gold for it as the game extends. But I think Virtus Pro know about this. They know when the Dragon's up and they're going to start to put down some pressure. Power of Dreams is already there, doesn't have to teleport. So it means that Kevin has got the pressure to teleport down ASAP.
All about timing there, but of course there's extra map awareness for Millenium. They've got that bot inner tower down already, they've got the mid-outer tower down as well, and actually only a couple of towers being picked up thus far.
It's going to go down very quickly. They're not going to get here for Dragon in time.
Yeah, Dragon's down already, Mirror picking that up. Here comes the Cataclysm in, but the Shockwave actually only hitting onto J-Re in the backline. Nice equalizer across the backline of this fight, and here comes Rio.
Oh my word, this is great.
He's going to jump back in. Mirror End tries to jump away. He doesn't get Ethereal chained up. Power of Dreams has been ignited, but will be able to escape, and Liquid is going to go down as well. Rio will have Distortion available in just a couple of seconds as well. Creaton not able to quite get the kill down to Power of Dreams, but here comes Rio. He's looking for the kills. He's coming around from the side. Kevin is there as well.
Flash.
They're going to jump onto Toxic George. So close, here we go. Jumps onto Mirrors and he goes down. Toxic George has been Morello'd as well. J-Re picks up the kill with the Ebb and Flow Flash. 5-1 on that Nami. A great team fight for Millenium, even though they lost the Dragon.
Yeah, they lost the Dragon, but again, that was everyone grouped up. It was perfect, ideal territory for Rumble, and the ultimate from Horror definitely put people in an area where they were going to get taken out fairly easily by Kevin. The old equalizer was actually decently placed from Kevin. It actually zoned a lot of the Virtus Pro team away from Millenium. Thresh flashed out in an attempt to get a hook onto a key target. That didn't happen, and then Rio was left in the backline to combo with Horror and get picks left, right, and center. That was basically a pick team fight where Rio was picking people off, and actually Thresh stole the blue buff with a singular auto attack away from Rio. I can just imagine Rio's face, a bit similar to after that Zed play that Faker completely outplayed him.
Yeah. I think Liquid was just like, I really want this soul. Grabs it, picks up, and we're gonna see Virtus Pro go straight for a Baron here. Ping's coming out as well. J-Re might know about this one. Comes round from the side. Doesn't actually have any wards available. He's going to use himself as a living ward. Kevin coming in from the side as well. He's going to try and close in onto this, but Baron down very low already. Nice equalizer onto the backline. Toxic George is going to get locked out by that one. They do get the Baron, but at what cost at the moment? Mirror End trying to chase out J-Re. Hobo does pick up Tractor. Mirror End going to go down as well. And look at this. Here comes Rio. Liquid actually going to land a hook. They're going to turn and burn onto him. Does get the kill. Liquid stealing blue buff, stealing the kill as well. Creaton's going to be able to pick up the Thresh. That is revenge for the wife steal, and they do manage to come out of it with a Baron, but they lose 4 members of their team.
Yeah, that was a desperation Baron coming out from Virtus Pro, and unfortunately they didn't have complete vision control that they needed to take it effectively, and that was just a complete clear up from Millenium. Definitely well in their favour. They've taken all of the Barons off, I think, apart from Mundo. Yeah, everyone apart from Mundo doesn't have that Baron. But who else is it?
Power of Dreams has it.
Yeah, Power of Dreams, Mundo. So, yeah, and then obviously Millenium also got a clean ace almost. 4 for a 0, 4 for 1 actually I believe, and they've taken another turret away from Virtus Pro, so they're extending that gold lead. Virtus Pro keeping themselves in it, keeping themselves in with a moderate fighting chance for that Baron. Just the global gold that it provides will definitely be a big bonus for them, but that Desperation Baron didn't work out as well as they would have hoped.
Not at all. They are 15 kills to 4 down at the moment. 40,000 gold to 36,000. Actually a lot closer in gold than you'd expect with that sort of kill margin, but Millenium are definitely on the front foot at the moment. Morello Nomicon being picked up there by Ryu as his second item is shutting down Power of Dreams as much as he can.
Yeah.
And Ryu's positioning in these last couple of teamfights has been absolutely superb. He just gets himself around to the side and then he manages to come in and flank the rest of Virtus Pro.
Yeah, and right now, having all of these turrets down is such a big bonus for Millenium and their composition. They really love to fight in those jungle areas, and once you have those turrets down, you can really start to utilize the vision, the control that you can get quite easily without the pressure of the turrets. The thing about the turrets is they provide a lot of vision for you, like passively. You know, it's like a very long-standing ward that attacks minions as well. So once you take those turrets down, you've got a quick engage here coming out from
Horo's going in, there's the tidal wave as well. Cataclysm not even able to connect. Ryu and Kevin are trying to come from the side to flank this one up, but only Tractor is low at the moment. There's the equalizer, it's going to get dodged out by the majority of Virtus Pro. Here comes Ryu, jumping onto Power of Dreams. Not the usual target you'd expect, but does lock him up with that ethereal chains. He's going to jump away. Mirror End coming in with the void spikes to get the slow. Ryu has to use that mimic distortion to try and get away. There's the ethereal chains as well. Ryu coming across to those the side. Nice aqua prism, but Liquid lands the hook. Tractor picks up Ryu. They're going to turn and burn. Here's the shockwave. JRee's going to get caught by that. He's going to go down. That is a shutdown onto JRee. He's 5-2 now, and a great team fight from Virtus Pro.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Horo was doing there. He actually solo engaged and unfortunately got absolutely wrecked every single way. He just got burst down there. He's got a Locket of the Iron Solari, so he's fairly tanky against this magic damage, but unfortunately you've got to watch out for the extreme amount of AD that will be coming out from Mirror's End and Toxic George too. This is potentially going to be an inhibitor turret going down. I'm not sure if Millenium can defend it. They've got 7 seconds really until... Oh, great hook onto Creaton.
Another hook onto Creaton. The play as well is superb. The Tractor gets the kill. Here comes JRee, but he's not going to be able to do much. The tower is going to go down. Ryu is alive. Goes on to Power of Dreams. Is it enough with the Ignite? The shield from Command Protect will keep him alive, along with that shield from the Lantern. Actually, that's going on to Tractor. They do. Ryu gets knocked again. Liquid with the plays. Ryu has to use that mimic distortion to jump away. They get the inhibitor. And Virtus Pro managed to back out. 9 kills to 15 down, but with an inhibitor to their name.
I really wonder where this thresh comes from, because I'm pretty sure it's Hook City. He's making them left, right and centre and winning these team fights for Virtus Pro. He's hitting the key targets when he needs to. It's absolutely brilliant to see. The guy has been fairly quiet until now. Until now he's been fairly quiet. Unfortunately, this was really all thrown away by Horo when he made a pretty much solo engage in that mid lane. And now Virtus Pro have taken the gold lead after being 5-6k behind. They've completely turned it around in a space of 3 minutes. It's ridiculous how big the gold swing has been here, but Dragon is up and I think Millenium are looking to make a play on it. They're basically level on gold at this point, so they aren't going to be too far behind. They just need to make sure they get a good team fight, that they don't get anyone picked off early on.
As much as I feel Power of Dreams is doing a lot in these team fights, I think Ryu needs to stop focusing him. He's positioned himself off towards the side. He's going to go on Toxic George. Look at the damage, but he survives with the heal. Here comes Horo. Beautiful equalizer onto Toxic George. A wonderful tidal wave as well. Ryu is still alive and on full health. Liquid's going to go down. The shockwave hits onto Ryu, but Tractor's going to go down as well. He's on his way at the last moment. Ryu gets taken out by Tractor, but that is 4 kills at the moment for the side of Millenium. They're going to chase onto Power of Dreams, and eventually that very tanky Mundo will go down. Creaton chasing, he's got red buff. He's going to be able to slow Power of Dreams down, but he teleports away. And that Mundo actually will survive. They do get the dragon at the end as well. Good teleport away by Power of Dreams, realizing there's no CC, but a great team fight there for Millenium. And it's exactly what I was saying. As soon as Ryu targeted someone who wasn't Power of Dreams, they won the fight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was going for Power of Dreams in that last few fights because it was the only target he could effectively get his combo onto. But he was in a position there where he could catch out someone before the team fight even started. And that was exactly how Millenium need to play their composition. They need to take out a lot of damage onto a target that is obviously a key target like Corki. Then they need to follow up with the Equalizer and Tajavan combo. And that's exactly, we're seeing a big difference in the Rumble play than we're seeing between HWA from the last game. Rumble is making the Equalizer plays proactively. Horo is following them up. It's not the other way around. Rumble is not reactively equalizing, he's using it as an aggressive engagement tool. And Corki got caught in the Cataclysm, got caught in the equalizer and went down there. Once Corki was down for Virtus Pro, that's a big chunk of damage that they're missing there. And at that point, Ryu had committed to the team fight and he was there to take a Horo getting caught out.
Horo's going to get hooked in the end, but Horo does have his jump away. He gets flayed. Is he going to go down? He will. Tractor picks up the kill. And Liquid, again with a beautiful hook across the wall, does manage to pick up Horo. Only 40 seconds on the death timer though. That is less than the time for Baron, which is so vital at this point in the game.
Yeah, they're going to try and burn for this top lane turret, and Millenium are just getting picked off by these catches, and actually defensive equalizer coming out here to clear the wave, but they've got Power of Dreams. They don't need the wave to tank this turret, and look how quickly that's going to be going down. Millenium need to step this up. They need to stop getting caught out. Horo is getting caught out, unfortunately. Played so well the entire game, but these last 2 deaths have been throwing a lot of global gold away here for Millenium. So, what do Millenium need to do at this point? They need to make sure they group, they need to make sure they're warding as a team, and look like they're trying to go for a catch here at this Baron area. Baron up in 10 seconds. Is this going to be another pick-off for Virtus Pro?
Quite possibly. Rio's rotated across towards this blue buff, and they will actually spot out the majority of Virtus Pro as they go towards that red buff. Baron is available, as you say, Scoundrel, and it does look like Virtus Pro might be baiting for it here. In fact, it looks like they're definitely baiting for it here at the moment. They're going to sweep out the wards just to make sure there's nothing there. Here comes Horo from the side.
Oh, he gets caught out by a hook again.
He gets caught out with a hook, and he's going to go down so quickly. Cataclysm comes in immediately, though. Rio is on Power of Dreams. Mirror and trying to flash jump in with that leap, and he won't actually be able to connect too heavily onto anyone. Jerry has to flash away, and Millenium is split up always to sunder at the moment. Kevin tries to flash away, but he gets caught out by one cleaver. There's the second. Toxic George is going to jump onto Kevin. He has the Zonya to survive for a couple more seconds with that Flame Spitter, but he will go down, and Tractor picks up his 6th kill of the game.
I just can't overstate how much this is getting swung in favour of Virtus Pro, because Horo is just getting caught out time and time again by these hooks. He's going in aggressively, but he's not tanky enough to take all the damage that Virtus Pro can put out in a burst situation. And right now they need to clear out this vision so they can have a little bit of a chance of contesting this Baron. They've got 24 seconds until Kevin's up. That's going to be a key member for them. Kevin is 2, 3, and 6. He's not had the best of times. He hasn't picked up his Rylai's just yet that combos with his Leandries. It's going to be so difficult now. They need to make sure that they are the ones engaging. They need to make sure that it's not a reactive engage from Millenium, because they've got a very proactive team. They need to make sure that they have the equalizer engage into the Jarvan, not Jarvan getting caught out. And unfortunately, that is what Virtus Pro have been doing so well. Their vision control has been absolutely stellar in this last sort of 10 minutes of the game.
Here we go. Talisman of Ascension is the engage there with the command dissonance as well. They're not actually able to connect onto anyone, but they do force them out of the jungle. They can take what they want at the moment. They can sweep what they want as well, and they will just back away. But it is all about vision control, as you say. Rio trying to jump onto Mirror's End, not able to connect, and Liquid will take some counter damage as he comes around the corner.
Yeah,
Back to Lot. There's the culling. Looks like they're going to try and counter engage it. Power of Dreams, though, it's incredibly tanky at the moment. We'll burn with that Leandris a little bit, but with Baron up and Dragon up in 2 minutes, these teamfights really are what's going to define this game at the moment.
Yeah, these next 2 global objectives probably will be the ceiling of the game for either team. If you can take the Dragon and the Baron, you'll have a big platform to boost and get the win. But it looks like Power Dreams is going for an engage here.
Yeah, he's going to go into Horo, but Horo can just jump away. It does mean that that engage tool isn't available for them, though, and I think really Rio is trying to bait out skills as much as he can, using that distortion into the middle of the team, hoping for a finger on the trigger for Shockwave from Tractive. If they can bait out that Shockwave, they can win the fight. If they get caught in the Shockwave, they're going to struggle.
Look at the vision for Millenium now. They're looking to start to control the vision because they know that's where they're losing out. And actually, look at Power of Dreams. He's going aggressive. He's popped the ultimate already.
He's popped Sadison to try and go into Kevin, and he's going to get that first cleaver down. A nice equalizer across the side. Rio goes in. The Tidal Wave comes out as well. Kevin's very low, but he's ebb and flow. Mirror's End is off to the side of the entire team. Here's Rio. He gets exhausted. Liquid doesn't quite connect with that hook. Horo is fighting off onto Mirror End, and everyone's going to be able to back away from this apart from Rio, who's at the backside. He's going to go to Mirror End, though. They jump away, and there's a Shockwave in the middle of the team fight. Meanwhile, a nice hook landing as well. They pick up Kevin. They pick up Horo. Rio picks up Mirror's End from the backside, but look at how low everyone is. He gets hooked in again. Liquid with the huge plays, keeping his team alive. Because everyone on the side of Virtus Pro there would have gone down to Rio if he played his cards right.
Right now, it's just Power of Dreams is completely 1v3ing the back line from Millenium, leaving Horo, Creaton, and J-Reed to deal with him. Kevin unfortunately got picked off at the side there, and Rio was in no man's land trying to make picks on the back line. This is just being won out by how well this composition works against the Millenium composition. They're trying to make a play on this Baron right now. They need to be careful though, because Liquid, the king of the hooks, is really on fire at this point, and Creaton is a juicy target. as the first
very juicy target. Baron is down to about 3,000 HP. Toxic George is low as well. Here comes Kevin with that teleport in. Creosone's going to go in. He gets Onya's out though. Liquid goes down. The equalizer is really nicely placed. Toxic George goes down in the back line. So does Tractor. Power of Dreams is going to get melted away. And his dreams has turned into nightmares because he's going to go. No, he's not. Wow. Wow, that was regeneration. Spirit Massage keeps him alive. They turn towards the Baron. They kept it aggroed and they will pick up Baron. Unless Mirror End can do something amazing here, he jumps in. Is he gonna steal? He does! He steals it away! He'll go down though, and Power of Dreams once more is left as the only man standing on his team with a Baron.
Horo is not having a great time with these smites today. He hasn't been able to smite steal the dragon, and he hasn't been able to do well with the Baron either. And Mirror's End has just been fantastic on this Kha'Zix in terms of smites. He may not have the best score in the game, but his smites have been absolutely stellar. But it does potentially mean that an inhibitor is going to be given up, and Millenium have a way to get back into this game. There is only Baron on Mundo. That's a big person to have the Baron on, though. It's a lot of health generation on top of what he already has, but he's going aggressive here. He's
going aggressive once more. They do lose the inhibitor. Jerry gets caught out by a cleaver, though. There's the tidal wave to try and disengage. Liquid doesn't have the flash hook. If he'd had flash there, I'm 100% sure he would have engaged. They're going to try and chase around towards the side. He does have Talisman if they want to keep chasing this. Power of Dream is just tanking up as much as he can, stopping the back. There's a beautiful catch. Here's Hollow. The equalizer comes in as well from the side. Liquid's going to go down straight away. So's Tractor and Ryu. They get the clone, but Kevin picks up a double kill, turning onto Power of Dreams now. There is no Kha'Zix here for them at the moment. Power of Dreams is so darn tanky. He's tanked up 2, he's tanked up 3. He's almost taking out Creaton as well. Here comes Kha'Zix though. Double kill. Power of Dreams stays alive. How on earth is he doing this? Mirror End picks up 1. And he's going to get level 16, level up that Q as well. And I don't understand how Power of Dreams is staying alive for so darn long in every one of these fights. He's keeping Virtus Pro in this game single-handed.
Oh my word, absolutely brilliant from Virtus Pro, and it's all on Power of Dreams right now, 3, 1 and 12, and they're going to return and take this inhibitor potentially, as Creaton is the only member alive. Creaton needs that last whisper, which he has just finished. He's going solo here.
He's going in, but this is not a good decision. He gets 1, but Mirror End has enough AD to take out that inhibitor by himself. Ryu is up. Will he be able to get onto Mirror End? He has got Leap available, so he can just jump away. There's the Distortion. Gets the Sigil of Malice down as well, but he won't be able to chase in. And it's an inhibitor for an inhibitor after a lot of very sloppy team fights.
Yeah, so now Creaton's picked up that last whisper, it'll be easier for him to burst, and he's going to go for a Blade of the Ruined King as his last item too. Basically saying, we realise Mundo is the problem, but I need to do something about it. I'm going to itemise and go directly for trying to get damage down onto Mundo. Corki, on the other hand, has got a very standard Corki, but oh, J-Re.
Oh, J-Re gets hooked straight into the box. He's going to try and flash away, but he's going to go down straight away. Tidal Wave comes out. Equalizer actually coming across them both as well. Here comes Ryu. Look at the damage onto Tractor. Almost goes down straight away. They're rotating across towards the dragon, but they don't realise it's already gone. They will secure their own blue buff, and that's actually really good on Ryu. We've seen how much he can do when he has a blue buff. They're leaving it up for the moment. That's a surprise. Yeah, Ryu wanted CS.
Yeah,
got to get the CS.
Need to give it to Ryu, but I think, yeah, Corki's gone for a very standard AD carry build for Corki here. He's got that Sorcerer's Shoes, which obviously are very good in the mid lane when you're doing all of your abilities, like your Missile Barrage, your Ultimate, your Phosphorus Bomb. They're all magic damage, so it works really well for Corki there. He's also picked up that Triforce, Infinity Edge, and Last Whisper, now going towards a Spectre's Cowl, which will likely be building into a Banshee's. So a very standard build there for Corki. No defensive items on Creaton, though. He's going all-out aggression. He's going to be using the Blade of the Ruined King for that peel potential, and he's going to be going for that, obviously, that Last Whisper to help him burst down that Mundo. Both Void Staffs have been completed for the APs now, so they're going to start to try and burn through Mundo, but look at his next item. Mundo has picked up a Warmogs. He is going to be a brick wall. He's going to be every single corner of the corporate Mundo office there, and he's going to be absolutely destructive in these team fights.
Got 4,600 HP at the moment. That is bigger than both Oriana's and Corki's put together. He is a massive tank, and he's shown how well he can play that Mundo thus far. He's walking down mid lane into the 5-man team of Millenium, as the rest of his team just saunters off to top.
Oh wow, Power of Dreams. Ryu trying to do the damage. A lot of damage coming
down. A lot of damage, and Zed isn't proc, but Morello Nomicon is actually there with the Grievous Wounds that does get the Ethereal Chains. Will it connect? He will. Ryu's going to keep turning onto him, but meanwhile, the rest of Virtus Pro do decide to come down and join up with Power of Dreams. Now, That was well done by Ryu, but even through 2 or 3 bursts, he wasn't actually able to get the kill. He turns onto Liquid, will miss the hook for once. He has to flash away, and the rest of Virtus Pro are having to back here because they realize their inhibitors are respawning, and they don't want to lose it too easily here to Millenium.
Yeah, Mundo's obviously got a very short cooldown on his ultimate, and look how much health he regenerated. He was at a quarter and is now nearly at 3/4. So, you know, this is what Mundo does to double AP compositions because there is no consistent output damage source against him, and he's got a lot of area to itemize into AP magic resistance. He's actually only picked up that massage, and then he's relying on his flat health and magic regeneration to help him out. So it's a lot of It's not much magic resistant, but a lot of health to back him up in the defense area. He's got a lot of armor though. He's very scared of Creaton.
That he is. Liquid coming across towards this bush, going to spot out Ryo and Horo, backing away. The Korean super duo haven't quite lived up to their potential thus far in this game. The talisman is popped. Liquid's going to try and come around for the hook, but they don't manage to connect. And the mid inhibitor still down here for Millenium means that they have to be a little bit defensive. Looks like the Virtus Pro team are going to try and push down the top lane.
Yeah, they need to make sure that they really utilise Ryu, and then basically with that spirit, with that Banshee's Veil on Toxic George, it's going to be difficult for Ryu to...
Ryu was out of the bush there. They know he's there. He wasn't in the bush and he has to back away very quickly. Just took a step too far forward and got spotted out.
Blades of the Ruin King on Creaton now. This is a big item for him versus Mundo. He may be doing enough damage to help defend and peel against him as well. So, Baron up in a minute. This is going to be the third Baron that we're going to see in this game. It's a very, very long game at the moment, up to 40 minutes. So, going straight into that late game. Kevin still hasn't picked up that Rylai's. He's sitting on a blasting wand at the moment, though.
That he is...
Oh,
so close.
Oh,
a hook onto Creaton. Is Liquid going to go in? There is Holo jumping onto Tractor in the backline. Nice equalizer across the back. Ryu picks up Tractor. Ryu is going big. Creaton picks up Liquid, and this is a great fight here. Ryu from the side gets onto Mirror's Edge, gets a double kill. Power of Dreams is going to go down for the first time in what seems like the entire game. They are able to win out the fight. Ryu will be able to chase down Toxic George if he can dodge out a few of these skills. Actually, the flash away there by Corki. Ryu uses the Zhonya's. Kevin teleports in from behind. Ryu survives, and Millenium get the ace for none. We'll be able to push down mid lane, probably for the win.
Probably for the game here. There is no mid lane inhibitor turret. They've got a big wave in the bot lane to provide CS if they need it. They've got 30 seconds, 20 seconds on Liquid, but he shouldn't be too much of an issue in terms of defense. But 30 seconds and 20 seconds on the Orianna. So they've got a little bit of time under their belt, and they're going to go straight for these turrets. They've got a lot of people to tank up the damage. This could be GG coming up from Millenium here, and they'll be very relieved to have won this one out after a very shaky early game start and a big mid-game swing for Virtus Pro. And this is going to be game, and it was a perfect team fight executed. Ryu did work on the back line there to Virtus Pro, and GG. That was a fantastic game between two, what we thought was going to be Millenium completely running away with this. Virtus Pro stepped up to the plate and provided a very, very exciting game indeed.